The MV Dara was a Dubai-based passenger liner, built at a shipbuilding yard in Scotland during 1948. The vessel travelled mostly between the Persian Gulf and the Indian subcontinent, carrying expatriate passengers who were employed in the Gulf states. The MV Dara sank in the Persian Gulf on 8 April 1961, as a result of a powerful explosion that caused the deaths of 238 of the 819 persons on board at the time of the voyage, including 19 officers and 113 crew. Another 565 persons were rescued during an operation by a British Army tank landing craft, a number of ships of the Royal Navy, and several British and foreign merchant ships. Sinking. The vessel had sailed from Bombay on 23 May, on a round trip to Basra, calling at intermediate ports. She arrived at Dubai on 7 April and was unloading cargo, embarking and disembarking passengers when the wind picked up, quickly reaching force 7 winds and preventing further work. Captain Ellison decided to take the ship out of harbour to ride the storm. Due to the conditions, there had been no time to disembark those persons on board who did not intend to travel, including relatives and friends seeing off passengers, cargo handlers and various shipping and immigration officials. At approximately 4:30 on 8 April 1961, a large explosion struck the port side of the engine casing between decks, passing through the engine bulkhead and 2 upper decks, including the main lounge. The explosion had occurred as the MV Dara was returning to the harbour and it started a series of large fires. The explosion having affected all electrical, fire, water and steering systems, the fire spread rapidly, aided by the winds of the storm, and the captain ordered the evacuation of the ship. The launching of the lifeboats was chaotic in the rough seas, with one witness describing an overcrowded lifeboat overturning due to the height of the waves. A second lifeboat had been damaged earlier during the storm. This ailing lifeboat would later be intercepted by the lifeboat of a Norwegian tanker. At the time there were several ships nearby and aid was given by British, German and Japanese vessels in the vicinity, as well as boats traveling out from Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman and Al Quwain. A nearly completed hotel building in Dubai was taken over as a reception center for the wounded, with many suffering from burns, exposure and wounds from flying metal shards. The tide of wounded overwhelmed Al Maktoum Hospital and field stations were opened at Sheikh Rashid's Customs House office block. In the days following, 3 British frigates and a U.S. destroyer sent parties on board the MV Dara to extinguish the fires, and the vessel was then taken in tow by the Glasgow salvage vessel Ocean Salver, but she sank at 9:20 on 10 April 1961. The explosion is believed to have been caused by a deliberately placed explosive device, planted by an Omani rebel group or individual insurgents. A British Admiralty court concluded, more than a year after the disaster, that an anti-tank mine, deliberately placed by a person or persons unknown, had almost certainly caused the explosion. This would probably have been related to the Dhofar rebellion. However, no forensic evidence has ever been provided to prove beyond doubt that a bomb was the cause. The wreck sits at a depth of 21 meters.